Imagine waking up to one piece of news that instantly shakes the entire fandom. No teasers, no warning, just a quiet but powerful announcement spreading across social media. Jimin and Jungkook have decided to get married. In seconds, timelines would freeze, hearts would race, and one massive question would dominate every conversation among fans in the US and around the world. Would HYBE agree to this decision, or would this choice change everything? To understand what could really happen, we have to look beyond emotions and step into how the K-pop industry actually works. HYBE is not only an entertainment company, it is a global corporation built on long-term planning, branding, and market strategy. Jimin and Jungkook are not just artists under that company, they are two of the most influential figures in modern pop culture, with enormous impact on music, fashion, sales, and fan engagement worldwide. If Jimin and Jungkook decided to marry, HYBE would not respond impulsively. The first thing the company would consider is timing. Timing controls everything in this industry. Are there upcoming BTS group activities? Are solo projects already scheduled? Are there global tours, brand partnerships, or military-related plans in progress? Even if HYBE respected the decision personally, they would still evaluate how this announcement fits into the larger roadmap. HYBE has repeatedly stated that their artists are human beings with personal lives. Publicly, the company promotes the idea of respecting privacy and individual choice. On the surface, that sounds like full support. But support in the entertainment industry is rarely loud and emotional. It is often careful, quiet, and strategic. If HYBE agreed with the decision, that approval would likely come with structure. The announcement would be official, calm, and carefully worded. It would emphasize maturity, mutual respect, and personal happiness. The narrative would focus on growth rather than disruption. HYBE would work to make sure the news feels stable, not shocking, and controlled rather than chaotic. In that scenario, the industry itself would feel the impact. A marriage involving two members of BTS would challenge long-standing assumptions in K-pop. For decades, idols have been expected to maintain an image that prioritizes availability and fantasy. A decision like this would send a strong message that success does not end when artists choose real-life commitment. However, even with agreement, changes would follow. Some brand endorsements might be reevaluated. Certain companies could hesitate, while others might see opportunity in authenticity and maturity. HYBE would likely limit unnecessary exposure, reducing the number of interviews and protecting Jimin and Jungkook from invasive questions. The goal would be stability, not spectacle. But not every possibility leads to approval. If HYBE did not agree, the situation would look very different. There would be no public rejection, no dramatic statement saying no. Instead, resistance would likely come quietly. The company might raise concerns about public reaction, market impact, or future group activities. The language would focus on responsibility rather than restriction, concern rather than control. This is where the pressure would intensify. Jimin and Jungkook would be faced with decisions that go far beyond music. They would have to weigh loyalty against autonomy, career stability against personal truth. Even artists at their level are still part of a system that values control and predictability. In that situation, one possible path would be waiting. Many idols choose patience, delaying personal milestones until obligations are fulfilled and conditions feel safer. This approach protects careers, but often comes at an emotional cost. Another option would be negotiation. Jimin and Jungkook are not new artists. Their influence within HYBE is significant. They could push for compromise, using their experience and value to demand respect for their decision while still cooperating with company plans. There is also a path that is rarely spoken about openly: choosing to move forward regardless of resistance. This option would carry risks, not only from the company, but also from parts of the fandom and the media. It could reshape contracts, public perception, and future opportunities, but it would also represent a clear statement of independence. HYBE is aware that the global audience is changing. Fans in the US and other Western markets increasingly value honesty and authenticity over illusion. The idea that idols must remain frozen in a fantasy version of youth is losing its power. A company that ignores this shift risks falling behind cultural reality. Fan reaction would play a major role in shaping the outcome. Companies analyze numbers closely. Engagement, sentiment, support, and backlash all matter. If support is strong, respectful, and consistent, it changes how decisions are evaluated internally. HYBE would not be looking only at tradition, but at data. No matter which direction this scenario takes, one truth remains clear. A decision like this would never be small. It would affect not just Jimin and Jungkook, but the broader conversation about freedom, identity, and adulthood in K-pop. It would force the industry to confront questions it has avoided for years. At the center of it all are two artists who have grown under the world's spotlight. Their hypothetical choice would not be about love or commitment, but about redefining what it means to live honestly while being globally visible. And as this possibility continues to live in fans' imaginations, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. Any decision involving Jimin and Jungkook would reflect not just the will of a company, but the direction in which the entire industry is slowly and sometimes unwillingly moving. In the end, when all scenarios are placed side by side, one conclusion becomes unavoidable. Whether HYBE agrees, hesitates, or quietly resists, the core issue is no longer just about company approval. It is about how much space the industry is willing to give its artists to grow as real people, not just as symbols. If HYBE agreed, it would mark a powerful shift. It would signal that even at the highest level of K-pop, personal happiness can coexist with global success. It would show that the industry is capable of evolving, listening, and adapting to a world where fans no longer demand perfection, but honesty. That kind of decision would not weaken BTS's legacy. For many, it would deepen it. If HYBE did not agree, the pressure would expose the limits of progress. It would remind everyone that behind the music and the messages, there is still a system built on control. In that case, whatever choice Jimin and Jungkook make would come with sacrifice, either personal or professional. And that reality would force fans to confront an uncomfortable truth about the cost of fame. But no matter which path is imagined, one thing is clear. A decision like this would never belong to rumors, theories, or company statements alone. It would belong to the moment, to public response, and to how loudly and responsibly fans choose to show their support. For fans in the US, this conversation matters because global audiences are shaping the future of K-pop more than ever before. What is accepted, what is defended, and what is normalized today becomes the standard tomorrow. So the real question is not only whether HYBE would agree, the deeper question is whether the world is ready to let idols live fully, openly, and honestly without punishment. Now it's your turn. If this decision ever became real, how would you react? Would you support Jimin and Jungkook no matter what the outcome is? Do you believe HYBE should prioritize artists' happiness over industry tradition, or do you think the system will always come first? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you believe artists deserve the freedom to choose their own lives, and subscribe to stay with us as we continue to explore the stories, questions, and realities that the headlines never fully explain. Because conversations like this don't end here, they only move forward.